Good morning, everyone. Ginette Biro here. I'm a medium and a channeler, and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom with Spirit, where we just tune in and see who is there. So, as always on Wednesdays, I will check in to see which guide is here and whether the message comes through as mediumship or as channeling. I never know until I dive into it, so we'll see what comes. If it is mediumship, I will have my eyes open and I will be passing on the messages. If it's channeling, I'll have my eyes closed, and that's just where there's a deeper blend with my energy and the guide's energy. So we'll see what it is. I'm going to just tune in and see who's here, and we'll get started. So just hold on one moment. Okay, this one is mediumship, and interesting, it is the three guides of the light who I normally channel, but the three guides of light are coming through with my counsel as well. There are many of them right now. Like, they just keep kind of filing in the room. So if all of you were able to see who was behind me, so to speak, there would be at least like a dozen. And they're saying we're coming through all together right now because it's important that all of you realize how supported you are. Because they're saying these changes that we keep talking about are happening incrementally, and there are significant incremental steps unfolding right now, which we have been talking about. So they want to reiterate that first of all. But they're saying right now it's really important, as these incremental steps are coming in, to keep the flow of energy moving, to invite it in. Because they're saying there's a big energy influx right now according to the alignments of the planets, and I'm not sure. Okay, I was going to say I'm not sure which one it is, but they're saying it has to do with the energy of Cancer that we're in, because Cancer is very emotional, and then the way that it plays off of different other planets and where those planets are within Cancer right now, because we're under the sign of Cancer. They said what it does is it activates for some people a scarcity mindset, where we are kind of prone to anxiety triggers, to feeling a lack of worthiness, lack of abundance, lack of love, care, support, anything that could be considered scarcity. They're saying right now, when those feelings of scarcity come up, one of the best things we can do is get very real with it. And they're showing me that even like, take out a pen and paper and write down all the things you're afraid of in that moment. Instead of trying to just push it away or ignore it or distract yourself, they're saying, look at what the scarcity energy is telling you and use it to your advantage instead of running from it. It's kind of like we can't help but wade through those waters right now. And for some, they're very aware and they're like, yep, I'm doing okay. I'm checking in with this. Yep, that's still okay. And they're using it and they're just kind of moving along. Whereas others are getting kind of tripped up in that energy, thinking that things are not okay, or that everything they've been working towards is not happening or not aligning or any of those things. And they're saying, please don't fall into the trap of the scarcity mindset. Because they're also saying that what's happening on our planet too right now, so we have the alignment of Cancer, which is very emotional, which can be beautiful and emotionally warm and loving and nurturing, but can also, again, create the emotional energies of turbulence and scarcity. They're saying, as you move through these, notice that there's also a scarcity narrative happening on the planet as well, meaning you won't have enough food, you won't have enough water, you won't have enough money, the banks are going to go down, the economic system is falling apart, whatever your trigger is, the medical system is not working well. There are more viruses, there is more war. And again, it's not that those things aren't actual pieces, because they are valid actual pieces. But the narrative around it on our planet is very much one of scarcity and fear. And so they're saying, don't fall into the trappings of that which is not yours to endure, that which is not yours to bear. Now, if there are certain things that are yours to bear, then you're being given that experience to do something about it. But don't take on the ones that aren't in your experience, because all that does is accentuate and amplify the scarcity mindset. Let me see what else they have to say. They're saying, because really what's happening on the individual level and also the collective level is the most amazing weaving right now. Okay, so this is a beautiful description. So if we look at a spider web, you have the center point, and then you have those main arms of the spider web that create the foundation, and then the spider weaves them all together with all the loops that go around and around and around and around. Those main arms they're comparing right now to your destiny points. The arms or the tether pieces of specific journeys that you wish to have as a soul. When you came in, you're like, I'm going to learn this and this and this and this and this. And some are really good ones and some are challenging ones, but all give us wisdom. Now, with those tether points, they're saying right now what's happening is the weavings around it, right? Our choices, our directions as we move around. And interesting enough, this kind of plays into, they're saying it totally does. It's funny. Yesterday, Monday, I talked about the spiral of ascension, how we're spiraling upward. We could do that. We could see that same imagery as the spider web spirals around and makes those destiny weavings to weave those arms or those tethers together, connect them all together to create a greater web. Essentially, that's what's happening right now. And we are involved in the weaving as much as our guides and the spirit world is involved in the weaving, both individually and collectively. So there's lots of weavings happening right now. And the frequency at which you vibrate really has a play on the weavings, the way in which they weave. Do they weave in harmony and in balance, or are they all kind of clumped up into one side, which then makes it all unstable? So your frequency has a huge effect on not only your individual weaving, but the collective weaving. And the weaving that's happening right now, they're saying, is very abundant. There's a lot of abundance coming in because what we have moved through already. We've moved through so much stuff from 2020 to where we are now. Specifically, we have made leaps and bounds in our ascension, which is a really cool thing. So they're saying, if we can stay out of the scarcity mindset and the fear narratives individually, collectively, astrologically, and really use our own resonance. Again, know yourself. What matters is how you know yourself and what you do about it. Then you have the ability to move through and make these weavings into a beautiful, beautiful, supportive web. So I love this message. I think it's just so beautiful. So I will leave that with all of you for today. Notice how you are, notice your mental chatter. What's happening in your mental chatter? How can you bring it back to personal calm resonance for you? Because what you do will have a direct ripple on what happens in the collective energies. So I think that's everything. Yes. Yes, they're saying yes. All right, everyone. I hope that helps inspire you today. Happy Wednesday. May you feel loved, supported, and empowered moving forward on your journey here, because you really matter. You truly do. So thank you again, and I will see you all tomorrow.